Good evening. We begin with breaking developments from Minneapolis, where the fatal shooting of a U.S. citizen by a federal immigration agent has ignited nationwide protests and a growing confrontation between federal and state authorities. 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, a mother of three, was shot and killed Wednesday morning by ICE agent Jonathan Ross during what federal officials describe as the largest immigration enforcement operation ever conducted. The shooting occurred at East 34th Street and Portland Avenue in South Minneapolis, just blocks from where George Floyd was murdered in 2020. The Department of Homeland Security claims Good attempted to run over the agent in what they called an act of domestic terrorism. But that narrative has been vehemently disputed by local officials and eyewitnesses. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara confirmed that Good was not a target of any investigation. City leaders say she was acting as a legal observer, monitoring federal immigration activities. Mayor Jacob Frey, after reviewing video footage, delivered a blunt response yesterday. I've seen the video myself. I want to tell everybody directly that is bullshit. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. Eyewitnesses describe a chaotic scene where ICE agents gave Good conflicting orders, some telling her to stay, others telling her to leave. As she attempted to drive away, she passed near Agent Ross, who was not standing in the path of her vehicle, and he opened fire, striking her in the head. Bystander videos show no visible signs of ICE officers being injured, contradicting DHS statements that several agents were hurt. President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem have all defended the shooting, claiming the agent acted in self-defense. But Governor Tim Walz had harsh words for that rush to judgment. People in positions of power have already passed judgment, from the president to the vice president to Kristi Noem, have stood and told you things that are verifiably false, verifiably inaccurate. Tensions erupted again Wednesday afternoon at Roosevelt High School. Armed Border Patrol agents arrived on school property after what they say was a pursuit of a suspect. Witnesses report agents deployed pepper spray and pepper balls, tackled people, and handcuffed two school employees. Students were caught in the chaos, with some pepper sprayed as they threw snowballs at advancing agents. Principal Christian Ledesma issued an emotional statement. I saw the terror in young faces as armed agents showed up on the school lawn. No child should have to wonder if their school is safe, if their family will be intact when they get home. Minneapolis Public Schools closed all schools Thursday and Friday, canceling all activities, including athletics, due to safety concerns related to today's incidents around the city. In a stunning development, Minnesota state investigators announced Thursday they've been cut out of the investigation entirely. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension says it was initially told it would conduct a joint investigation with the FBI. But less than 24 hours later, the FBI reversed course. BCA Superintendent Drew Evans said the investigation would now be led solely by the FBI, and that the BCA would no longer have access to the case materials, scene evidence, or investigative interviews necessary to complete a thorough and independent investigation. Governor Walz called the development alarming. Minnesota must be part of this investigation. It feels very, very difficult that we will get a fair outcome. The BCA Force Investigations Unit was created in 2020 specifically to provide independent oversight of police use of force incidents, a direct response to George Floyd's murder. U.S. Senator Tina Smith said the investigation now will have no credibility in Minnesota and around the country. Thousands gathered in Minneapolis Wednesday night despite freezing temperatures demanding accountability. Law enforcement used tear gas and pepper spray to disperse crowds. But the protests extended far beyond Minnesota. Demonstrations erupted in more than 20 cities, including Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, New York City, Oakland, Portland, Phoenix, Seattle, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. Governor Walz announced he had begun preparing the Minnesota National Guard, though he has repeatedly called for peaceful protest. Democratic Representative Robin Kelly of Illinois announced she will seek to impeach Secretary Noem, citing obstruction of justice, violation of public trust, and self-dealing. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez called ICE an anti-civilian force with no accountability and described the shooting as murder in cold blood. Good was a writer and singer originally from Colorado who had recently moved to the Twin Cities from the Kansas City area. Mother, Donna Ganger, told reporters that Renee was one of the kindest people I've ever known and emphasized that her daughter was engaged in protected civic activity as a legal observer. This story continues to develop. We'll bring you updates as federal investigators proceed with their review, a review that state officials and community members say lacks the independence and transparency needed for justice. I'm Erin. Thank you for watching, and good night.